Hi, my name's Emma Kate. I've been thinking of doing a bit of a vlog slash blog for a while. Um, I am currently dealing with secondary infertility, and I've been watching quite a few vlogs of other women going through similar things that I'm going to, and I've found it really helpful. I've found that there isn't really anybody who seems to have what I have, and so I thought it would be one, therapeutic for me to just have a place where I could vent everything, and secondly, maybe I can be of a help or a comfort to somebody else who might be going through something similar to what I'm going through. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. I am 27 and my husband is 28. We've been married for 5 years together, for 8 years. We are lucky enough, we are so blessed. We have two little boys, a 4-year-old, Ethan, and a 2-year-old, Jake. Sorry, 2.5. And we actually had them very easily. We said, we got married and we said, right, let's have a baby, and I fell pregnant first month. I was very sick in my pregnancy. I vomited the whole time, and I couldn't work, I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything. He was born at 27 weeks. So due to severe preeclampsia, which I might talk about in another video because it's a quite in-depth thing to talk about. So yeah, he was 1 pound 10 ounces or 830 grams. And before Ethan turned 1, we decided that we would have another one. More so, I think we rushed into it because of what happened the first time. We thought, maybe if we had another early one, we wouldn't go again. So let's just have them both close together. We were very shocked when we found out only a month after we had started trying that we were pregnant again. And we almost couldn't believe it. We had a toddler running around, so there was not much time for any of that. So it was a big shock. But yeah, and it wasn't until just before Jake he was about 1.5, and we decided that maybe we should start trying for another baby. That we found that it just wasn't happening. So we started trying in April 2014. So it's been about 15 months now. What have we done? After about 3 months, I thought maybe I should track my ovulation, because I hadn't done that obviously previously with my other two. I just got pregnant, so I never even really thought about my cycle, how many days it was, any of that. So I started looking into it a bit more. So 3 months in, I started tracking my ovulation. I started buying the little dipstick ovulation kits, and found that, my cycle was about 30 days. Take 1 or 2 days. And it was pretty regular. So I thought, right, well, that's not the problem. I also started using the more expensive saliva test. So you just put your saliva on it every morning, like before you eat or drank anything, and it's got a bit of a firm pattern when you're ovulating. So tried that, and so I felt like we were really, on track with when we were trying to conceive, and it wasn't happening. About 5 months in, I went and saw my GP. I said, look, this isn't happening, this is weird, we've fallen pregnant so easily before. And she reassured me, oh, you guys are young, you've already had 2 babies, just give it time. and it just didn't happen. So after a year, we started to see a fertility specialist. We don't have a lot of money, so we've had to save for every appointment, and it's been a challenge financially, but we're definitely finding out more. So we've had probably every blood test that you can have. I feel a bit like a pincushion. I've had ultrasounds to check everything, and I had a HSG, which is where they put dye inside you and then and then they flush your tubes out to see if there might be a blockage or any scarring or whatnot. And they then found that I have 2 uteruses. So totally split down the middle. They both go up and then the tubes are on the side. So because we didn't quite know at the time when we had the scan, it went in and they only found 1 tube. So they thought it may have been, maybe the other one was not working, but a bit more digging found out that I do in fact have 2 uteruses. We're not sure if I have 2 cervixes as well. The specialist can't quite tell. She's done her own examinations and ultrasounds and can't really find the 2, but she suspects that there are. So this brings me down to the next test that I'm about to have tomorrow. It's an MRI just to check my pelvis. Our specialist has a feeling that I have something called endomyosis. I hope I pronounced that correctly, which is where, so it's usually caused from an operation or something. So I have had 2 cesareans with my 2 previous children, yeah, so they just think maybe something didn't heal correctly, maybe I had a bit of an infection. I'm not really sure, and all the information I've kind of looked up about endomyosis, I can't find a lot. So, and she's just saying, well, waiting for the test results and find out. So I don't really know if I've got it or I don't. So the MRI should give us a better picture of it. I hope I'm not sounding insensitive to anybody, because I found that, one of the reasons I wanted to do this vlog was because for me, I feel like I can't talk to anybody about it because I've already got 2 children. So I've heard, just get over it. You've already got 2, like you're lucky, and, I know how lucky we are. My husband and I always dreamt of a family with 4 children, and having our first 2 so easily, I suppose we didn't even think about it. We just thought, yep, we're going to have the family that we've had, and now, the family we want and the size we want, and we're not going to have any issues. My husband's, mum had no issues conceiving or having her 4 children, and my mum the same with, me and my 3 younger sisters. No one in our family has any history of infertility issues. We're too fertile, if anything. So it's just so hard to it feels like the dream of the family that, that we so desperately want is just fading away. And it's so hard when something's happening to your body and there's nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing that you can change. You just have to put all your trust and hopes and everything into the specialists and the doctors who are looking after you. And my husband got tested before I got tested, and he was absolutely fine. So it's very much an issue with me, and that's hard to take as well, especially because I had a baby due to preeclampsia so early. I feel so guilty, like I can't get it right. I had to have 2 cesareans, which I know is fine, and lots of people have to have it, and I so desperately wanted the natural births. And you know, my heart goes out to everyone who can't have babies at all. I could not even imagine how agonizing that would be, and I know how blessed we are to have two. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video, I want to find out, is there anybody else out there who has more than one child? It seems like all these people dealing with secondary infertility on here that I've seen so far only have the one child and they're trying for more. Has anyone gone through, you know, having two or more and then not able to keep going? You know, it would be such a comfort to know that there's more of us out there. And if anyone has endometriosis or knows somebody who's had it, or can, you know, give me any information. I'm not quite sure how all this YouTube stuff works, but I hear people say leave it in the comments below, so that sounds like a good place to start. I'm hoping that this vlog will not only be about secondary infertility, but I can do just videos about life in general, parenthood, you know, motherhood, and the struggles and everything that comes from there. So I'll check in tomorrow for my MRI, and yeah, thanks for listening.